Well, hello folks. It's Sunday, February 18th, and we're back in the garage doing what we can do. Back's getting better. I'm seeing some improvement on the muscle spasm thing, and I had my first post-op visit with the doctor. Took x-rays, everything's cool. It wants me back there in another 6 weeks, and at that point they'll prescribe what do you call it? Physical therapy. So in the meantime, I can still, not bend, lift, or twist more than not pick up more than 10 pounds, and bend and lift as little. You know what I mean? Kind of keep that to a minimum. I don't think a little bit's going to hurt. Probably good to loosen things up. I've been walking more around the house, kind of. I've been doing 20-minute walks at least twice a day, and that helps with that muscle. I found out that the Jacuzzi, I think, helps with it too. In the meantime, I got started out here the other day a little bit with this guy. That's the wire brush I'm using. The pipe fitters use these when they do their welding between passes on the welds. They clean all the slag off, because most of that stuff is stick welded. They clean all the slag off, and then they go over it with this to get rid of the stuff they can't chip off. So these wire, it's called a knotted wire wheel. They're pretty aggressive, and so for doing what I'm doing here, it works pretty well. It's dangerous because it catches on edges like that and that. If you aren't careful, going the wrong way, it throws the tool if you're not careful. So you definitely want to be wearing gloves and eye protection, face protection. The wires come off every now and then and go flying. But it does a nice job. You can see what it's doing here. It took the paint off that was there. I went over it. I hit it with the heat gun a little first, because these guys go nuts. I have to say, on the factory, on the Tri-5 Chevys, on the classic Chevys, they went to great lengths to keep it. Look what they do. See this pocket up here? It's like I think it's a hinge pocket, maybe where the hinge pocket bolts to the metal, to the sheet metal. Look what they had done. They literally fill those things up with seam sealer. So they go nuts to try and make them watertight, that's for sure. So you see, I've cleaned this. I'll put the seam sealer wherever the seams are, but in a much neater fashion. Obviously, they're doing it as quick as they can, so they just have a gun like a grease gun, and they fill everything up. So we're started here again. This is going to be kind of tedious, obviously, and I'm only going to do the firewall to this extent. Underneath, I'll hit it with easy off a couple of times, and then power wash it and probably scuff it. I don't think I'm going to do this much underneath. I'll probably do the chassis, the part of it that shows up here like that. Again, after hitting it with some easy off, some degreaser of some sort. Easy off works pretty well. So here we are. We're back out in the garage. Like I say, once I get into this, I'll probably lift it up so it's a better working height when I get down near the bottom of the firewall. Like that. That's where the lift comes in handy. But anyway, just a little update. In the meantime, I've been trying to sort things. I've got a bunch of stainless stuff that I've been trying to sort and put into these bins. So, been doing some of that too. Stainless steel. I got acorn nuts and a variety. I've gathered it all up first of all, and now I'm trying to sort it into the bins. So that's kind of where we're at here, and more to follow as I get along. During the week, I'll probably add a couple of things to this before I post it. So anyway, like I say, today's the 18th. Nice day. We had a little sprinkle, a little shower this morning. We really need the rain around here, so that was good. But more to follow. Again, always thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, how you doing, folks? It's a week since the last section of this video. It's now Sunday again, and it's the 25th of February. And see, we've been making some progress. My son was here yesterday for a little while, and that's the gas tank all wrapped up, so I can go put it. I'm going to go put it outside under the deck, so it's not near any flame sources, ignition sources. My bench Looks like I've been doing some stuff around here. It's got a number of things, sorting out stainless steel for bins and, you know, a little here, a little there. But anyway, made some progress on the car. Got part of this firewall cleaned off, wire brushed and degreased. Kind of this, I mean, about half, maybe a little more than half actually. You can see this side here. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. I've got all the sealer pulled out of these hinge pockets. They just stuff the hinge pocket with sealer, so you can't even tell there's a depression there. But anyway, I'll do that nice and tidy, like, and you know, when I paint this, I'll paint that area too. But like, you know, this got all this area cleaned out back in here. It's kind of a pain getting in there, but it's doable. And that part's done. Again, I'm using the stiff wire brush. You can see it right here. The knotted wire brush. And as much as I can, those areas back in there, I got to do kind of by hand with doing with Scotch-Brite and sandpaper. And the tunnel, all that lower section, kind of from the transmission tunnel down, was all covered in oil from, you know, this engine or another engine leaking oil and blowing back on the firewall. So I had to degrease that first. I used some like citrus degreaser that I had, and then followed up with one treatment of Easy Off, and then a wet rag and cleaned it off. I can't, you know, I'm not in a place to power wash it off, so I just wet a rag and cleaned it off with a rag, and that worked pretty good. So you can see that lower area up to about right there is done. So now I got to do this part over here. That's already mostly degreased. I just have to get in and wire brush it. I just took the hinge off and the little clip that goes right there. That holds the, what does it hold? Oh, the inner fender panel bolts to it. So, like I said, we made some progress. I got the exhaust cut off. You can see that half of it laying here. That's that side, and there's that side. And I had to cut it to get it off. And I think I'm going to probably end up redoing it anyway. I'll use the mufflers again. I think I can detach cut the welds, in other words, and take the pipes off and reuse the mufflers. I'll probably, because it's going to have headers now, and it didn't before. So the configuration starting at the motor is going to be different, and the guy ran everything. He turned the muffler this direction, so everything went towards the center of the car and then out the back, you know, from the center of the muffler. I favor rotating that 90 degrees and running it closer to the frame down both sides. You know, so it's kind of more parallel to the frame instead of heading from near the frame at the header and towards the middle as you get to the muffler, and then, you know, and then over the top. So we'll probably use the back ones over again. Might have to modify them a tiny bit, but I think we'll use the back ones again. At least that's what's in my mind right now. But between the engine and the muffler, I'll probably make new. And like I say, we got the, did a little cleaning under here actually. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. You can see we scraped quite a bit of it. It's got a, oh, not an 1/8 inch layer, but it's got a healthy layer of oil and dirt stuck to that oil underneath. So the sheet metal's in real good shape because it's been protected by that stuff. You can see, like, my son was under here yesterday, and he got a lot of the frame rail scraped, and the floor pan is partly scraped. It's kind of dark under here. And obviously the gas tank is gone. So we can clean all of that area. This is, looks like about a number 10 wire the guy ran through the frame to feed backup lights. Evidently this car didn't have backup lights. He added them, but did a pretty down and dirty job of wiring them. So anyway, that's it for now. That's as far as I've gotten this week. I've been trying to do more stuff with the back, you know, bring it along a little at a time though, because trying to be careful with it. So I've been doing this a little and doing some gardening, actually digging a little bit. I asked the surgeon about that, and he goes, well, I wouldn't want you digging in really hard, tough dirt, but, you if you listen to your body, see what it's saying, go for it. Anyway, more to follow, obviously, as we make more progress. I'm kind of looking forward to getting somewhere and I start patching holes on this thing and painting this thing, getting the bottom all clean, patching. There's a ton of holes in the frame that somebody's made. All of those are going to get closed up. All the unnecessary ones are going to get closed up. And like I said, I'm really anxious to get this thing painted so we can start going the other direction, putting it together. Anyway, talk to you later. As always, thanks for watching. Bye.